The sixth commandment states very simply, you shall not commit adultery. Unfortunately, it speaks to another topic that is extremely hot in today's society throughout the world, and that is the question of human sexuality and sexual behavior. We're living in a society now that does not respect human sexuality as meant between a man and a woman for the state of holy matrimony and for the procreation of children. Many will compare human sexuality to that of other animals, but in many ways, when you look at our faith, human sexuality is more than just simply animal instinct. Naturally, yes, all animals have that instinct, that drive, especially when the female is in heat, it attracts the male and they engage in the action. But they don't necessarily understand the consequences of the action. Their instinct drives them to one action, and when the procreation is complete, the mother of the young know what to do as a point of instinct. As human beings, we are capable of understanding what this process is. We're made in God's image and likeness, so we can have a knowledge of this process, and we recognize the divine attributes of creating a human life, creating a life made in God's image and likeness. And so we have obligations to that process, moral obligations, to see that it is not done in a way that is destructive to life or destructive to the unit of the family, that it is in fact productive to the upbringing of children and the fostering of the love between spouses, between the husband and the wife. And so as such, while many people are very critical of the church as perhaps being old-fashioned or behind the times or just not accepting of variations with regard to human sexuality and sexual orientation, the basic approach that the church has with regard to the licitness of the sexual act can be three basic things. First, of course and foremost, sex must be pleasurable. It's a joyful act. It feels good. Second, it must be an act of committed love and of total self-giving in that love. The sacrament of matrimony, an act of committed love and total self-giving between a husband and wife. Third, it must be open to procreation. Will it always result in that? Certainly not, but it must be open to it. In the eyes of the Catholic Church and Christianity in general, all three must be present if an act of sexual intercourse is to be considered licit and not sinful. If any of those three are lacking, then there is something lacking in that connection, in that intercourse, and the church considers it a sinful act of human sexuality. And so in the next couple of videos, we're going to be looking at a couple of issues with regard to that, which I will certainly look to dealing with in as sensitive way as possible, because it is such a hot topic and such a personal issue for so many people. The church does not hold its positions because it is unaccepting of people, but because it recognizes God's call to us as made in His image and likeness, to rise above our human instinct, to recognize the divine attributes of human sexuality in the creation of another life made in God's image and likeness, and to live those standards that God has called us to live. And because of that, there are very high standards when it comes to human intimacy, love, and sexuality.